Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. It's time, once again, for another depressing dose of dismal Disney. In this video, I'm going to cover two topics pertaining to Disney, with the first one being about some major management shakeups that are occurring within the company's hallowed halls. A few days ago, Ike Perlmutter, who is 80 years old and had been the longtime chairman of Marvel Entertainment, which is a separate entity from Marvel Studios, was laid off. And Marvel Entertainment itself has now been absorbed by other units within Disney, thus forever losing its distinct identity. Along with Perlmutter, Marvel Entertainment's co-president Rob Steffens and chief counsel John Turritson were also dismissed. Dan Buckley, president of the division, is staying and will report to Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige. Perlmutter, who still owns a considerable share of Disney stock, was at the center of activist investor Nelson Peltz's months-long fight to join the Disney board. It was reported in February that Perlmutter's backing of Peltz was due at least in part to CEO Bob Iger's decision to sever Perlmutter's control of Marvel Studios in 2015. Which eventually reduced Marvel Entertainment to not much more than consumer products and comic book publishing. So it would appear that a long-standing feud between Bob Iger and Perlmutter has finally been won by Iger with the layoff of Perlmutter. As I had reported in a video back in February, Peltz had ended his proxy battle after Iger announced his plan to reduce costs by $5.5 billion, which included reducing the workforce by 7,000 employees, as well as the expected return of the dividend payment for shareholders by the end of 2023. The decision to dismiss Perlmutter as part of Disney's cost-cutting measure is ironic considering the executive's infamous reputation for pinching pennies, from holding Marvel Studios press junkets in Disney's offices to forcing employees to reuse office supplies. Perlmutter had joined Marvel Comics' board of directors in 1993, and by 1997 established control of the Marvel Group with Avi Arad after it faced bankruptcy. In 2001, Perlmutter became vice chairman of Marvel and became CEO of Marvel Comics in 2005. After Disney acquired Marvel Entertainment in 2009, when Perlmutter sold it to Disney for $4 billion, Perlmutter remained CEO, but his frequent penny pinching and refusal to greenlight female-led or POC-led films like Black Panther and Captain Marvel put him in frequent conflict with Marvel Studios president and creative architect Kevin Feige. In September of 2015, Feige was able to successfully move Marvel Studios, the unit responsible for the wildly popular Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and shows, out from under Perlmutter's purview, with Feige reporting directly to then Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn. Perlmutter's kingdom then dwindled, especially after Marvel Television was also later moved under Feige's control at Marvel Studios. Also out of a job is Rob Grosser, the longtime third-party Marvel security consultant who is also considered to be Perlmutter's fixer according to two insiders with knowledge of the situation. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Grosser had assisted in the investigation of media leaks at Marvel, which included the incident in 2012 when the website Latino Review had revealed information about Marvel's plans to release its first Guardians of the Galaxy film before it was officially announced. In an email that was posted on the same site, Grosser referred to Latino Review as a fanboy website. For the second topic in this video, there's an update on Victoria Alonso, who apparently clashed with Marvel over blurring gay pride references in Ant-Man 3 for the Middle Eastern country of Kuwait. It was reported on March 24th that Disney had fired Alonso for a breach of contract due to her work on the Oscar-nominated feature Argentina 1985, which was made by Amazon. Last week, Disney indicated that the dismissal was due to an indisputable breach of contract and of direct violation of company policy. I've spoken about Alonso's firing in several recent videos. Alonso, through her attorney Patty Glazier, pushed back at the explanation for the firing, saying in a statement at the time, Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced. Then she was terminated when she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Some insiders at Disney believe that the reprehensible act that was referenced by Glazer was a request to censor gay pride references in the latest Ant-Man movie for the Kuwait market. In January, as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was being readied for release, word came down that Marvel executives wanted an editor to blur a storefront window that featured rainbow decorations and the word Pride for the version of the film to be released in Kuwait, which has restrictive anti-LGBTQ laws. The storefront was shown in 2 brief scenes in which Scott Lang, as played by Paul Rudd, walked down a San Francisco street. When the Quantumania request reached Alonso, she refused to have her team make the edit as part of her duties overseeing visual effects and post-production at Marvel, insiders say. Marvel then went to an outside vendor to see the edit through. There were several other changes to the film for Kuwait, which is the only country in which the Pride references were blurred, according to sources. The edit also removed references to alcohol that would have run afoul of local authorities, and it removed the animated buck cheeks of the character MODOK, as played by Corey Stoll. Hollywood studios have long struggled with censorship in countries with anti-LGBTQ laws, particularly those in the Middle East. For Kuwait, Disney removed a moment of affection in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever between 2 female characters. In other instances, Disney declined to make edits, with insiders noting Disney would not edit out moments deemed integral to the story. Pixar's Lightyear was banned in Saudi Arabia over a same-gender kiss, while Marvel's Eternals was banned in multiple countries, as the film featured the same-gender marriage between Phastos, as played by Brian Tyree Henry, and his on-screen husband Ben, as played by Haz Shyman. And what happened to Lightyear and Eternals? They both flopped in theaters. Disney's policy regarding edits is as follows. In countries where we operate, we seek to share our stories in their original form as we and the artists involved have created them. If we make edits because of legal or other considerations, they will be as narrow as possible. We will not make an edit where we believe it would impact the storytelling. In that circumstance, we will not distribute the content in that market. While I personally have no problem with LGBTQ content myself, I understand and accept the fact that LGBTQ content that's deliberately inserted into movies that are intended for general audiences will, in all likelihood, adversely impact their overall appeal and their earnings potential. So when people say, go woke, go broke, it's because that statement is correct not just part of the time, but the vast majority of the time. And that's especially true for movies intended for younger audiences. Most people from both sides of the aisle are drawn to movies and TV shows that are intended to entertain, but they're oftentimes pushed away when those movies and TV shows are being used to preach, sermonize, and virtue signal. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.